guys, I'm Emma.
Hi guys, I'm Zach.
And I'm Erin, right?
Yes, and we are here to talk with our Parks and Recreation Department about how they use science. So if you want to take it away, Erin.
Yeah, hi guys, thank you so much for letting me talk to you today. So to start with, my name is Erin, like I said before, and I'm the program director for the Auburn Parks and Recreation Department. So today, what I'm going to be talking to you about is aeration and the care of Carr Field in Eckerd Park. If you're familiar with that, that's where we have a rocket football program, as well as have tons of people practice soccer out there, hang out, have picnics. It's a very used field. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. So the first, question is, what is field aeration? And so field aeration is the process of puncturing the soil with small holes to allow water, air, and other nutrients into the soil. And so this process helps the grass roots grow deep and overall creates a strong, healthy field that's able to take, football games and all other types of recreation activities. And so here is an up-close look at what that picture on the other screen was. So we have different layers of the grass, as you can see. We have the grass blades, we have the crown, and the crown is the most important part because this is where that growth comes from. And so the next layer is the thatch layer or the mulch layer. And then finally we have the soil. And as you all know, soil is very important for growth of healthy grass. And so let's take a deeper look into kind of what the aeration process looks like. All right, so on slide number 1, you can see that before aeration, there is not a ton of grass, there's some roots, but we really don't see that strong growth that we want to see when we're working with an athletic field. So that's the main reason why we aerate. And so when we aerate the lawn, those tubes that go into the ground will then take out chunks of that soil, which allow air, water, and nutrients to get into the ground deeper than they would before without that aeration. And so the process of that results in the aftergrowth of all of this grass with really strong roots in the ground. And you can see that that grass in the slide 3 is much better than slide 1. So that's definitely why we want to aerate Carr Field as well as all of our other fields. So to aerate Carr Field, it takes about 45 to 60 minutes. Now, if you're using a smaller aerator, so you can see down here, that's our aerator that we use. It's really big, and we have 96 sharp tubes, which you can see right here, that are used to puncture the ground. So if you have a smaller aerator, this field would take way longer than just an hour to do. So the maintenance team does an awesome job of aerating that field for about an hour to make sure that we get the nutrients and the water that that soil needs. So that is what that piece of equipment looks like, and it is dragged along the grass, and those tubes rotate. As they rotate, the soil will go into the tube, and then it'll pop right out, and you'll see the little leftover soil pieces scattered throughout the grass. So that's kind of the process of what that looks like out there. All right, and so we do more than just aerate the field when we're making sure that we're taking care of it. So what's really important when you're taking care of the field is you want to make sure that there is a balanced pH with the soil. And so you may ask, why does it matter what soil the pH is? So the soil, or the pH of the soil, affects how the grass can absorb those minerals and nutrients for healthy growth. So after all that aerating, if we're not making sure that soil is balanced and the pH is balanced, then it really doesn't do as good of a job. So what is a healthy level for soil? That would be 6.0 to 7.2. So that's kind of what we're shooting for when we are looking for a balanced pH in Carr Field, as well as all of our other fields.
So actually kind of acidic.
A little bit, not too acidic. So the reason why we have to worry about the pH in the first place is because Carr Field is artificially watered with the city's water that has a pH of 8. So when that goes into the field, that is going to raise our pH up. So we want to make sure that we can bring that back down to allow for that healthy growth. And so the park's maintenance will then go through and take 3 to 4 samples of that soil throughout different parts of Carr Field, and then send that off to testing to get that pH level back for us. So then we can see, what do we need to do to make sure that we get back down to 7.2 or even lower than that with Carr Field. And so, like I said, the balanced pH that we look for is at 7.2, and that's what we see provides that healthy growth for Garfield. It could be different in different areas, so that level could change based on what nutrients and water is affecting that soil. So then what happens if the pH level is too high? So that means that the grass is not going to properly absorb the water and nutrients, and it's not going to grow properly. And in result, it's going to have, poor health. The, soil is going to get torn up when you're running on it. And ultimately you're going to have a field that's not, really strong for especially sports like rocket football. And so how do we balance that pH? How do we bring it down? We will use an amending soil. And so we use an acidic amending soil to be added to the field. So that will allow that pH to drop, and then it will also provide that better root growth for the field and make sure, like I said, that we're bringing that pH from 8.0, if it gets that high, back down to what we need it to be. Any questions there?
I have one.
Hopefully I can answer it.
Is it recommended that you aerate just like a standard lawn, or is aeration really only necessary for sort of high impact athletic?
Good question. Yeah, you can never go wrong with aerating your lawn. It's better for any type of lawn. It's great, especially for athletic fields, because like you saw in the picture before, that root growth was really strong. The roots were connected. So yes, you can aerate your, home lawn, your backyard. That's very much encouraged. Is it necessary? No, I think your grass will be fine without it. It's just something that'll help, make your lawn healthier if you're looking to, achieve that. So definitely though, we do it for Garfield just because we know how much impact, the sports have on that. Another thing that we do with maintaining that pH in Garfield, there's one more thing other than just, or it's on top of adding the amending soil. There's something called Sphagnum Moss that has been used over the years that has helped also bring that pH down, while also building up that mulch or thatch layer in the field. And that's what's keeping that, really firm out there, so that the, soil isn't getting torn up and the grass blades aren't coming out as much. So between all those three things, we have aerating, we have the pH, balance, and then making sure we add sphagnum moss into the field. We're creating a strong, healthy field for, future recreational activities to be played on, as well as just creating a nice, healthy lawn. So that's kind of what goes into it. Some other things that also go into it as well is mowing the field properly is very crucial. So avoid scalping the lawn, meaning going to, close to blades and cutting in, divots. Sharp blades to get the best results. You want to know the area that you're mowing to ensure proper, mower height is practiced. And then mow when the grass is dry and not wet. If you do mow when it is wet, that's not going to cause any damage, but you are going to get those clumps of grass on the lawn. It's not going to look as pristine. And so that's kind of the little short presentation on the aerating and care of Garfield.
I had no idea the amount of science that goes into maintaining the actual plant life that is the lawn. That is the field, the amount of thought and effort that goes into keeping that a functional space.
Definitely. And before I did my research for this presentation for you guys and talking with the maintenance supervisor as well as the superintendent, I had no idea either. I thought you could just have grass and it'd be fine, but there's a lot more that goes into it. And it's important that you know, so that you can get, the best results that you want.
Erin, where can people find out this information and learn about the things that you guys provide?
We just released our new website called auburnin.recdesk.com. And so that's a portal that we have that we are now online. It was just released in August, so it's really exciting. And so we are building that portion of our website still up. So there's not a ton of information right now about our native species, the trees, the tree commission, but that stuff is going to be up within the next several weeks or month or two, because it's a very new site and we want to get that information out there. So that's somewhere where people can eventually go check out and get that information. Or you can visit our Facebook page, the City of Auburn, Indiana Government. On there, we'll have tons of information about our programs, and then that website as well is where you can get all the latest updates on what's going on in the parks.
make sure to pick up your grab and go box, because that will be an easy way to get your hands on upcoming events.
Yep.
All right, so speaking of events that are happening at the parks, we're having a movie on Thursday. Erin, if you want to talk about that and the spooky things that are going on with that.
Yeah, so we are having a movie in the park on Thursday. It begins at 7:30, and we are showing Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and so that's going to be super fun. You got to come out and join us for that. And that kind of segues into our Halloween Walk event coming up, October 16th through 18th and 23rd through 25th, which is an Oogie Boogie Woogie Walk theme. So you'll kind of get some similarities between the Nightmare Before Christmas and that holiday walk. So be sure to come out for that as well. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Erin.
Yeah, thank you guys
talking to us, and
Thank you so much for chatting and for just explaining some of the really cool stuff that the Parks Department does.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for this opportunity, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, bye guys.
Bye.
See ya.